is Jason. I'm a realtor.
Yeah, we're all set in that regard. Thank you.
No, I mean, you have it online. I'm just wondering when are you guys doing showings or appointments?
I'm taking them and I will show it.
Okay. No, that's fine. I was just wondering because I did some research on it and I buy the zip code for Zillow. So when I buy the zip code for Zillow, that's $5,000 a month that I spend. So we get inquiries every time a homeowner.
I already have a realtor if I go with a realtor. Thank you very much.
No, I'm getting the leads, so I'm trying to ask more information about the property. That's the only reason I'm calling.
All right.
I know you've had two different realtors over the last 20 years and they weren't able to sell it. I understand that. I'm just trying to get information if you're paying any commissions, that's all.
Yes, I will pay commission.
How much are you paying?
About 2%.
I'm just writing all this down.
Sure.
And the house is vacant, so can I go in any time and go look at it?
There's not a lockbox on it currently, so I would have to meet you there.
Oh, okay. Let me put that down. And then other than the information that I already have from the previous listing, is there anything else you did new since October? I think is when it came off the market last time.
No, we are going to be painting that big room, but that's minor. The roof is fairly new, and it's a metal 50-year warranty.
Okay, yeah, got a warranty on it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it has a wind mitigation report.
Yeah, I did the numbers on it too briefly because the way Zillow works is if you look at your post on Zillow, and I'll give you some free advice if you never posted on Zillow before, but if you put your number in the first paragraph, call owner direct, you might get some of the leads. If not, you're just going to get all realtors calls.
That's a great advice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Because if you look at...
My phone's been ringing off the hook this morning.
You should. It's January 7th. So, I mean, I've been doing this for 23 years. And I always tell people, if you're going to put your house by owner, wait till like January 27th. Because then it's like the gym. All the realtors are all motivated in the beginning. And then they drop off like flies by the 3rd, 4th week of January. So, I don't mean to talk shit, but I'm talking shit because I've been doing this for years. So, it's kind of funny.
It's funny.
But the house is empty. I was wondering what's been because I'm looking at the pictures and I did the numbers prior because I've had 2 emails come in through my database. My office is in Winter Park. They had asked questions like as if I'm the owner, because when it says contact agent, they hit the button on Zillow. They contact me, or I think there's around, for that zip code, I think there's 12 or 14 agents that bought the zip code. So it goes to one of us 14 and it's like a round robin, you know what I mean? So I may only get 2 or 3 leads out of the month for the zip code. So when the people are asking questions about certain things, I tell people I'm not the owner, I'm not the agent. So they're kind of shocked by that. The question I had is, the last price you had it on, which was 1.250, now you have it at 1.275. That was one of the questions I had from somebody said, hey, why did the owner go up in price? I said, I don't know. I would have to call the owner directly. That's what I'm saying. So some of the questions you might be able to, head up your way yourself. If you put in the first sentence, call owner direct, and you put your phone number in the first sentence, you might get some leads, not all the leads, but some leads. But that's a question that I have for you. And then the other question I have for you is, I did the pricing on it, which means I did the comps. The comps are coming out for me when I did it. They're coming out at right at 1.2 to 1.250. So the numbers are on point. I was just wondering, is there anything else wrong because you've had it on the market for so long? That's why I was just curious.
So unfortunately, timing was terrible. We came out too high, and then the trade war happened, and the stock market went crazy, and the immigration, and we saw the jobs report start to go, and we didn't lower it fast enough at the beginning. So then I think it kind of hung on the market. We do get some comments. We set it up. There's 2 master bedrooms in the house.
That's awesome.
And one is huge, and the other one is large. The bathroom for the large one is not huge though, so I think if people were looking at it as a multi-generational house, they felt like they were getting ripped off a bathroom.
Got it.
If they were putting their parents in one side or kids in one side or whatever. But it's a very flexible house. It could be a private suite back there. I used it as an office when my parents passed away, and our kids finally did not need a transition location anymore because consulting company. So I would hold meetings in it. It goes right out to the pool. We would do dinners in there when I needed lots of seating. So it's a very flex space that's attached to the house. The other one was people with kids. This only happened with one, but it stuck with me. There's a spiral staircase in there, and they got freaked out by the spiral staircase. It's not a problem. My kids have been in there since they were less than 2 years old, and we've never had a problem with the spiral staircase.
No, that's not not something.
When they were really tiny, we didn't let them go up it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's called parenting.
No, it's not a big. I mean, I got 4 kids, and I mean, I've had worse than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and then it does, it needs updating, and I'm willing to do flooring credits and stuff like that, because why would I pick somebody else's floor? It just makes no sense to me to pick a floor and then I'm going to pick too gray or too white or too dark, or, There's another house on the market in our neighborhood that picked very dark floors, and the feedback to them is your floors are too dark. They're brand new. So I don't want to get into that. So those are the things, but there's people who just don't want to come in and do any work. They're not brand new.
The only thing I was looking at that I could see an objection would be was maybe the step down. That's about it. That's the only objection I see in the house right now.
Yeah, that is, we've gotten that too, the step down, but again, it's only for 2 rooms.
Right.
What's the big deal?
No.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is the square footage. I mean, it seems like it's really hard. Like if you do a search on the MLS and you use Windermere, Dr. Phillips, Gotha, Winter Garden, and you try to find anything north of 3,500 square feet that's a single story, there's hardly anything. And so that's the positive that stuck out with me. But I was just curious what else. I mean, I do see some of the things.
The step down, you're right, that was one. And when you walk in, because of that step down, that hallway feels low. I think things could be done with that hall to make it feel higher. I don't know that it would really bother them once they're in, because the rest of it doesn't. I mean, obviously the main room is a 2-story room, so it's very open and bright. All the windows face the pool. You can get access from 2 bedrooms, the living room, the kitchen, the extension to the pool. It has sunlights or skylights in it that makes it brighter. But when you walk in, the friend who's a realtor was one comment.
Now I'm going to transition into an objection that I'll get later, which is, will she rent it?
So having all the lights on are very important, apparently.
No, it is. It's kind of crazy. I think since the market changed in the beginning of 23, I have been telling my staff and my company, it's my company, I've been telling my team members that on any of the properties north of 800,000 that we removed all the lock boxes. Removed all the lock boxes off all the homes. And the reason being is I just don't trust the realtors showing the properties anymore, because what they do is they're an Uber driver. They open up the door and they just let the buyers run through it. And then I have to chase them down trying to get feedback, which is impossible. So what we did is we now just basically removed the lock boxes, and now we have a standing realtor that showed the properties just like a new builder, a new construction would, like a new agent at a builder would, just so we can get the feedback. Because the hardest thing is getting feedback for our sellers, and if we can't get it directly from the horse's mouth, then it's a waste of time for us to try to tell the seller what's wrong with it if we don't know what's wrong with it, So a lot of times the feedback, but I'm assuming if the house is vacant, and I'm assuming, this is me making an assumption, and if you ever read the book, The 4 Agreements, you don't make an assumption, but I'm going to make an assumption. I'm assuming you're a baby boomer, because it seems like all the boomers are selling right now.
I'm at the tail end of that.
Okay, because my mom's a boomer, and I'm just assuming. I'm 47. I'm Generation X.
Correct.
Okay.
We are boomers, and we both retired a little bit early this past year.
Congratulations.
So thank you. I still have my business, but I'm kind of picky about what I do, because it's only what will be fun. Hopefully it can stay that way. This house is an anchor.
You seem like you're in sales, because you talk similar to the way I talk. That's why I'm just curious. Are you in sales?
I've run a lot of not-for-profit companies, and I was on the school board for Orange County for 12 years. So
oh, wow.
You learn.
I'm 23 years in real estate. Makes you kind of like an old man, even though I'm only 47. The other thing I was going to say on the property, though, let me pull it up. With that type of home in that type of neighborhood, and it being in the luxury, it's considered classification luxury market. Have you guys ever contemplated the idea of doing a rent to own or a short-term rental with a business person like Disney or something?
We could. We would prefer not to, because we've already moved to another house, and we really don't want to have the burden of that house anymore. So, I mean, it could be a backup plan.
Okay, I was just, because I know something like this, that size house, I think you can easily get $5,000 a month,
That would barely cover our nut, to be honest.
Okay, no, that's food. I just threw out a rough number, and I was just thinking like something like that.
And I did investigate that, and if we saw, unfortunately, not to get political, but with the instability of what's going on in our country and in the world right now.
Yep.
We're just nervous that we'd have to hold it for too many years.
You're retiring and you're this is the best years of your life, so I understand that. If you want any free advice, since I've already given you free advice about putting your phone number in the beginning, I'm optimistic, and someone in the company that I work for, he's worth $1 billion, and I get to have personal one-on-one conversations with him. And his prediction, and again, we're right now the largest in Florida. It's LPT real estate. We're all in every state. His conversation with the small group of the top individuals across the country right now is he's calling it boom day prepping. Last year, at the end of last quarter, he called this year's going to be boom day. And I'm starting to see some of the stuff that he's talking about.
I'm seeing it in the statistics. I am. I'm seeing some movement, which is great.
I mean, I had 7 closings in December, right? Which most realtors don't ever close in December. And I had 7, and I got 5 in January. Normally my January is very dead, but I got $7 million worth of real estate hitting the market in the next 2-3 weeks. So the market, just to give you from my vantage point, I'll just give you to give you really positive information, is that I've been in the business for 23 years. Last year was the hardest year I've ever worked in real estate in regards to homes not moving. Until September, October, my entire year changed. So in October, November, December was my greatest quarter I had of last year. And then moving into this first quarter, I am slammed with buyers and sellers, which is a positive thing. So just to give you feedback, if my numbers are strong, then I'm already anticipating that the market is going to do really well this year.
Well, that makes me hopeful.
No, I think you're doing fine. I mean, I'm looking at the pictures too. Let me pull this back up on Zillow. I had it on Zillow. Let me see.
So, do you, not to continue to ask you for free advice because that's unfair, but
it's all
do
good.
You think that I have it priced too high?
This is me just knowing Windermere, knowing the neighborhood, knowing Butler Bay. The numbers seems like I have a range in my head. I haven't done the numbers, but if I had to go based on my experience, I would say 1.2 to 1.25 is the range. If you have it at 1.275, yeah, you're probably a little bit higher than it should be. But 1.2 is the target number that I have in my head. And that's with me not doing any research, just knowing the area. Okay, and that's me not even looking at the house, looking at all the things that people may fly. There are a lot of things that a lot of realtors don't know is that your specific neighborhood and the year built, people are going to like that it's a 1-story. You have 2 suites, right? That's the big selling point, and the large lot, right? So when you get the buyers that come into the property, that's when you as an owner have to do your job and sell it, or the realtor representing you has to sell it. And what I mean by sell it, you shut up, you ask questions, right? Selling is not talking, it's asking questions. It's basically saying, hey, so what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Because remember, if they love the floor plan, but they don't like because it's dated, then that's all that is skill about negotiations. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's a negotiation piece. So I think your price is fine. What I could do is if you can text me when you have a chance, before the end of the week, I could send you just my information and I can give you a free broker synopsis.
You've talked yourself into a real interview because I am going to put it with a realtor. And I have 2 others that I'm interviewing right now, and I wanted a 3rd. So you have talked yourself into it just by your tenacity and your knowledge of the community.
And you haven't seen my gray hair
really
either.
Really our biggest problem before. But he grew up in that neighborhood. He was never in Windermere and hasn't been there in a long time. And I think it was his one of only 2nd over $1 million house that he's ever tried to sell.
Yeah, I did his numbers too. He only he did one.
That was our error because we liked him, right? I have a very soft heart. That's why I've been in not-for-profit all these years. But that was not a good business decision on our part.
Is it the one that did you guys buy the property? Oh no, I'm looking at the production report.
Groveland. We're in Groveland now.
Oh, you live in Groveland. Okay, I call it Grooveland.
It's becoming that. We're not there yet, but we're becoming that.
Yeah, I may get dishired for making this comment or me knowing about this, but the only reason I know about Groveland is that they have a festival out there on the dry air patch airport where people.
Yeah, we went this year.
Oh, you went to the festival?
Right near us.
Yeah.
We could actually physically see it.
It was
from our house if we wanted to.
Yeah, I went with a friend of mine. My friend from California says, "Hey, I'm going to this Love festival, and it was really fun. I actually had a good time.
Okay, we did the balloon festival.
Oh no, it was like
Laser
it was more of a hippie thing that I wanted to go check out.
So we haven't done that one yet. We just did the balloon laser show. It was a balloon laser show, drone show that they had in September, October.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was very cool. It wasn't as well attended as I thought it would be, but it was cool because the balloons are kind of sitting there, but the drone show was fun. Yeah, and it was only a half a mile from the house, so that makes it nice.
I think the only balloon thing I did was when I went to go visit family in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where they have the big air balloon show. It's pretty fascinating. The whole sky is, has all these big air balloons up there.
I've always wanted to do that show.
This
is not like that. Sorry, it's at night and they're all lit and there's like 7 balloons and you can go up and down in a couple and then there's vendors there. The drone show is like the thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the centerpiece of it.
Well, I think if you have time, and you're letting me throw my name in the hat, I'd appreciate the opportunity. Number one, I really do. I was just trying to get some information, but obviously talking to you, whether you hire me or not, I'm going to be your friend because you just seem like a cool woman to be a friend with. But when's a good time that you have time?
We're going to be there tomorrow doing a few things that we wanted to improve, like including painting the garage and things we just didn't get a chance to do when we left.
Okay.
So, and I am interviewing another realtor tomorrow afternoon, so I don't know if you have any time tomorrow.
Yeah, let me just check something real quick. What time are you interviewing the other realtor?
He is coming around 3.
3 o'clock, okay.
So, and we should be there, John will want to get there early. If it's up to me, it'll be closer to 10, but we'll probably be there between 9 and 10 for the day.
If I can get there at 11, we have a date. If I can get there at 11.
We can do 11.
Okay.
I'm sorry, give me your name again, please.
My first name is Jason. My last name is Asa, A-S-A. And if you could be so kind and text me your email, I will have my director of operations send you my bio, my resume, and who I am, and everything you need to know about me. My production report and everything.
Awesome. That is terrific. I was just going to ask you for all that.
Okay, I'll have Ken Sparks is his name, or Jasmine.
Okay.
Jasmine or Ken will send you a detailed information, just kind of resume, a bio, and everything I've done and who I am.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate it. Thanks for your tenacity.
And thank you. I was going to ask you, just so I can prepare better, is there 1 or 3 things that you ideally are looking for in a realtor that you haven't had in the past and it's your like non-negotiables that you're hoping to get? Or is there anything that you've had with a realtor that sold a house in the past that you really, really liked and you really appreciated, so I can make sure I focus on that?
Well, the last 2 houses we sold ourselves just by sticking a sign out. So
okay.
And then we've only had 2 other houses.
Okay.
And then I would say knowledge of the area and really understanding the value of the town of Windermere and the school system that we're in.
Okay.
And if, you seem to understand the area.
Yes.
And then it's kind of rural to proximity to everything at the same time, right?
Yep.
And then that's probably number 1. And really understanding the value of a well-built house, because it's hard to compete against new, and if they're really hell-bent on new, they shouldn't even be looking at our house.
Correct.
But if they're on the fence about it, that house has withstood hurricanes and all kinds of things and never had a problem.
And you guys lived there for how long again? Just to refresh my memory.
25 years.
25 years, okay. Yeah, you guys definitely know the house inside, outside, so.
We know the inside and outside of that house and every nook and cranny of it. And it never ever had a problem.
Okay, I'm putting this in here now. And then what I'm
now, have we needed new, air conditioners and all that, which we've pretty much done except for 1? Yes, but structurally, never a problem with that house.
Okay.
Very sound. And I think because it's a wood house, that's probably another thing, even though nobody ever called that out. It's just unusual in Florida. It's a very well-built, custom-built home, and there's no issue with it. It's been around a long time.
Do you have the floor plan or the drawings?
It should be be on the.
Oh, I
the
see it.
listing.
I see it
Yeah.
right here. Okay, I got it. And just, you wouldn't respect me if I wasn't a good salesperson by asking the last question. Not the most important question, just so I could be prepared. Me and Jasmine, when we come over and meet with you, we always like knowing what we're walking into. Can you at least give me an idea what company or who else you're interviewing to see if I know if they're my colleague or not?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Ah, you're so good. I love it.
I know one of them very well, and I don't think he's your colleague.
Okay. I was just curious. I'm like, I always like to know my competition because one of the things I do too before I go out is if I know my competition, I do their production report to see if they're in the same experience realm that I have.
They the one is for sure.
Okay, fantastic.
And also offices in downtown Windermere, so that is a big plus for them.
Okay.
And the realtor who would be the lead on this actually lives on the street, so that's another big plus for them. So
No, that is.
So, but I'm not, after following my heart last time, and this realtor's also a friend of mine, I'm cautious about that.
I love it. As long as you could put the brain on of a commercial seller. And what I mean by that, the number one difference between commercial and residential real estate is the word emotions. If we can take emotions out and make it a business decision, and I still do not get the listing because it was a business decision, then I would love that. But if it's an emotional decision, sometimes I lose.
Right.
Perfect.
I get that.
Okay.
So that's really your biggest competition. The other one impressed me with his knowledge, and I've agreed to meet with him, but I don't know a lot about him.
Okay, no, that is fair. That is more than fair. I will go ahead and do my homework and make sure I have everything up. The one thing you're going to get with me that most people won't do is you're going to get pure authenticity and directness and no BS.
Okay.
Okie doke?
That's great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No, nice talking to you. And again, no matter what happens, you're stuck with a new friend, by the way, okay?
That's all right. I love having new friends.
All right, cool beans. Nice
I'll
talking.
invite you to political fundraisers.
Let's do it. And I'm down to go. I'm very down to go. All right, nice talking to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was me teaching you how to call my first for sale by owner of the year. Do you understand why you want me in the office? Do you understand why I need to make phone calls? Do you understand how powerful I am on the phone? Boom. Did you hear the call?